Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over this 2021 Toyota Sienna LE Hybrid, but I would like to give a special thanks to South Dade Toyota for providing me with this Toyota Sienna. If you're in the market for a Sienna, you can come check out South Dade Toyota and ask for Wilford. He'll get you into a new, used, or pre-owned vehicle. And over here to the right of me, this is the 2022 Honda Odyssey, but I would like to give a special thanks to South Motors Honda for providing me with this 2022 Honda Odyssey. If you're in the market for a Honda Odyssey, you can come check out South Motors Honda and ask for Nelson. He'll get you into a new, used, or pre-owned vehicle. But let's look at the front styling here of both these minivans here. Let's start off with the Sienna. This has that bullet train inspired design here. Looking at these taillights, they're going to be a full LED, even on the base trim, which is the LE here. It does have an automatic low and high beam with an LED turn signal with an LED daytime running light. But there's no fog lights here on the Sienna. If you go for a higher trim level, Toyota will throw in fog lights. I do like this massive grille here. It looks like it's going to basically eat you. There's this blue hybrid symbol here because the Sienna is back as a fuel efficient hybrid. It uses the same powertrain that's in the Toyota Highlander. Looking at the Odyssey looks good as well. It does have these full LED headlights with an LED daytime running light, but it does have an incandescent turn signal. Look at the Honda emblem there. That does house the Honda sensing. This does also house the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0. But let's take a look underneath the hood of both the Sienna and the Odyssey here. Both of these vehicles use a pop rod, which I'm really surprised to see. But let's start off here with the Honda Odyssey. This has Honda's 3.5 liter V6. It makes 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is the only van in the segment to have a 10-speed automatic transmission. This comes standard as a front-wheel drive. As the Odyssey sits, it weighs 4,300 pounds. Fuel economy is rated at 19 in the city, 28 on the highway, and 22 combined. That's really good fuel efficiency from this 3.5 liter V6. But contrast to that, looking at the Toyota Sienna here, this has Toyota's 2.5 liter four-cylinder. It makes 245 horsepower. It's paired with an electric motor, and this comes standard as front-wheel drive. You can't get all-wheel drive. It would be electric motor powering the rear axle. The Odyssey does not come with all-wheel drive. It only comes standard with front-wheel drive. As the Sienna sits, it weighs 4,600 pounds, so it's a little heavier compared to the Odyssey here. Fuel economy is rated at 36 in the city, 36 on the highway, and 36 combined. And this can tow 3,500 pounds. And also the Odyssey can tow 3,500 pounds. But let's look at the side profile of the Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey. Looking at the side profile here of the Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey, starting off with the Odyssey, this has an overall length of 205.3 inches with a wheelbase of 118.1 inches. These tires are a 235/60 tire. They're wrapped in this 18-inch rim design. I like the aluminum finish here. It does look really good with the gray exterior paint. Contrast to that, looking at the Toyota Sienna, this has an overall length of 203.7 with a wheelbase of 120.5. So the Odyssey is the bigger vehicle in overall length, but the Sienna does have a longer wheelbase, which is 120.5 compared to the 118.1. But looking at these tire and the rim setup here on the Sienna here, these are a 235/65 tire wrapped in a 17-inch rim design. And up top of the Sienna, this does have a standard sunroof, which the Odyssey does not offer. But looking here at the rear of the Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey, let's start off with the Odyssey. This has an LED combination tail light with an incandescent turn signal and reverse light, but with an LED brake light. There's the Honda emblem with this rear wiper to keep the rear glass clean, the Odyssey name, which is spelled out. But let's take a look here at the Toyota Sienna. There's this rear wiper here to keep the rear glass clean as well. There's this LED combination tail light with an incandescent turn signal and reverse light. There's the Sienna name, which is spelled out. I like the way that it looks with the black trim. Let's take a look inside the cargo here of the Odyssey and the Sienna. They both have manual opening tailgates here. Let's start off with the Odyssey. With all the seats folded up, Honda says you get 32 cubic feet of space. There's this nice well here to put stuff in. Once you fold down everything, Honda says you get 144.7 cubic feet of space. That's matching the same cubic feet of space as the new redesigned Chevy Suburban. So this thing does offer a lot of cubic feet of space. And you can also remove the second row. Contrast to that, let's take a look here at the Toyota Sienna. This has 33.5 cubic feet of space. With all the seats folded down, Toyota says you get 101 cubic feet of space. The Odyssey does have more cubic feet of space, and you cannot remove the second row. So we're gonna start off first with the 2021 Toyota Sienna LE. Looking at this interior here, this interior looks nice. Toyota, they changed up the Sienna for 2021. Shutting the door here to start up Sienna, foot on brake, and the power button is over here. Of course, everyone knows that Toyota now went with a hybrid powertrain, so there's no combustion engine to start up the Sienna here. I've been averaging 32.3 miles to a gallon. This minivan gets 36 in the city, 36 on the highway, and 36 combined, and that's with me not even trying to get that fuel economy. So the hybrid powertrain is very efficient. Looking here, there is this 9-inch display. Going here to the Google Maps here, it takes up the complete screen. There is some hard buttons here. There's a volume tuning knob. I'm going to be really brief with this interior because I showed you guys this Sienna before. This is wireless charging pad here. My iPhone 12 Pro Max fits there just fine. Putting the Sienna into reverse here, as you guys can see, there's a backup camera just with the distance markers, no trajectory or rear parking sensors. Kicking over here to drive, and to the left there's a sport mode in the transmission. This house is the CVT transmission. Putting it back into park, looking over here, there's different drive modes which show you sport, eco, and normal. So there's only 3 different drive modes, and it does change this little helper screen up here. There's an EV mode, so you can drive this thing in electric only, but once you reach 25 miles an hour it turns it off. There's an auto hold, electronic parking brake, cup holders here. Toyota calls this the bridge. I like the way that this looks. There's 2 more cup holders here, so there's gonna be 4 cup holders in total here. Open up the center armrest here. It does offer a good amount of storage. There's a USB-C with a USB port in there. I like this brown like texture here. Down here is gonna be a storage compartment, so if you're a soccer mom or a soccer dad, you can put items underneath here. There's a 12-volt right there. The steering wheel is plastic. If you want a leather wrap steering wheel, you have to go to another trim level in order to get the leather wrap steering wheel. The wind wiper stock is over here, turning signal stock and headlight stock is there. There's this power meter to show you when you're charging the battery. There's an eco and a power mode, your coolant temperature. There's this helper screen there, and the course to speed and the fuel is down there. I have 168 miles until empty. Like I mentioned, this hybrid powertrain is really fuel efficient. The materials are gonna be a nice soft touch. It is automatic up, automatic down for all 4 windows. Grab handle here, storage compartment, and cup holders down there. Automatic high beam switch. Your trip reset computer is there. Fuel cap opener, and you can turn off the power to these sliding doors just in case you had small kids in the rear. This is a manual tilt telescoping wheel. It does offer a good amount of range and adjustability. This is hazard switch there. Looking at the glove compartment. The glove compartment does offer a lot of space. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable, they're cloth seats, they feel really good. And up top, there's just a standard sunroof. Even on the base LE trim, Toyota does throw in this sunroof. Up here is going to be incandescent lighting throughout the cabin. But overall, the Sienna does have a nice interior. But let's hop into the Honda Odyssey. Sitting inside the interior of the Honda Odyssey LX, looking at this interior, it's a nice interior, but the screen here, as you guys can see, is really small here on the base trim level. But if you go for a higher trim level, Honda says they're throwing an 8-inch display. I'm not sure why they just didn't give this the 8-inch display like on the other trim levels, but this interior still looks really nice. But shutting the door here, to start up the Odyssey, foot on brake and the start stop button is right here. This has Honda's 3.5 liter V6. The Sienna over there had a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Of course, it's going to be more fuel efficient since Toyota went with a hybrid powertrain. Looking here at this interior, like I mentioned, it's a nice interior. It's going to be physical hard buttons here for the dual climate control. Put it into reverse here. You guys can see there's a backup camera, of course. Just distance markers, no trajectory. You click D right there, and you click it again, it goes into a sport mode. And you click P for park. I do like this push button style transmission compared to the Sienna, which had a shifter. Over here is going to be for the automatic start stop, snow, eco. It has the switches here. Like I mentioned, it does have dual climate control, but I wish Honda would have just offered that 8-inch display like on the other trim levels that they do offer. Same steering wheel, plastic steering wheel. It does feel nice in my hands. It does have Honda's sensing. The Sienna did have Toyota Sensing 2.0. Over here is going to be this pad here to cycle through this LCD display here. Unlike the Sienna, it didn't have an LCD display, but it did have a small helper screen that can show you different stuff. But this is a full LCD display right here, which I do like. Headlight stock and turn signal stock is over here. Wind wiper stalk is right there. Over here is for the Honda sensing. You can turn that on or off. It does have road departure mitigation, forward collision warning, electronic parking brake, brake hold is here, your mirror controls. It is automatic up, automatic down for the driver and passenger, but not for the rear windows. Nice grab handle here, nice area to rest your elbows. Storage compartment and cup holders are going to be down here. This does not offer Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I have my iPhone 12 Pro Max connected. It's going to be 2 USB ports here with an aux. It does offer a good amount of storage here. This is the key fob. I forgot to show you guys the key fob on the Sienna, but this does have a lock, unlock, a tailgate opening function, and a panic button there. The key feels nice and sturdy in my hands. There's a 12 volt here. Over here is going to be more storage. Looking at the glove compartment, it does have a lot of storage in there. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're cloth as well. Unlike the Sienna, this does offer a armrest, so you can have a really good position to grab the steering wheel, and so does the passenger. They do get their own set of armrest here. Up top is going to be this convex mirror to see what the rear passengers are doing. Sunglass holder. It's going to be incandescent lighting. There's no standard sunroof here on the Odyssey. You have to go for another trim level in order to get that. But overall, the interior here of the Odyssey looks really good. It looks right on par with the Toyota Sienna. So to get into the second row here of the Toyota Sienna, Toyota does throw in this power sliding door here. But getting back here, you can either grab the handle here to close the door, or you can press this button down here on the side. There's going to be 2 map pockets back here. There's going to be a USB and a USB-C port right here, 2 cup holders. The floor back here is completely flat. You can sit 3 people across, and you can also remove this seat to have captain's chairs just in case you want to have 8-person seating. And you can slide the seat forward here by grabbing this little handle on your side. The seat will slide all the way to the to the passenger seat here. You can slide it back far as like that, but Toyota says you can slide it 25 inches if you go for the platinum trim, which offers the ottoman function, which I tested, which is pretty cool to see that on the actual minivan. But Toyota says you get 39.9 inches of legroom here in the second row. Up top, there's your own set of climate controls, the air vents, and lighting live up top, of course. Toyota does not offer a panel sunroof here on this generation. But let's get into the third row really quick. You grab this handle here. The seat will tilt forward, just push it. But getting back here, hopefully you guys can see me because I have the camera at an angle. But sitting back here, I'm gonna sit on this side. Sitting back here in the third row, I have plenty of foot space. My knees are not touching the seat back here of the second row. It's going to be 3 cup holders back here. Your air vents live up. The air vents live up top. There's going to be lighting there. There's a USB and a USB-C back here. But overall, the third row of the Sienna is not a bad place to spend time. But let's hop into the Honda Odyssey and see how it compares. So get into the second row here of the Honda Odyssey. Honda does not offer a power sliding door here, but grabbing this handle here, the door will close back. Looking back here, there's going to be 1 map pockets for storage. There's going to be 2 cup holders here with this storage compartment. The floor back here is completely flat. I like that Honda gives you these captain's chairs as standard equipment. There's going to be air vents back here, of course. The lights live up top. There's no panoramic sunroof here on the Odyssey. But overall, let's get into the third row really quick. Honda gives you this handle here. You use it, the seat will tilt forward, and you push the seat out of the way. Getting back here in the third row, Honda says you get 38.1 inches of legroom. That's right on par with the Sienna, which gets 38.7 inches of legroom. The floor back here is completely flat. You can sit a middle passenger here. There's going to be 4 cup holders in total. There's rear air vents right here. The lighting lives up top, but there's no USB ports back here to connect your phone, so you might have to sit in the passenger seat or the second row. But overall, the Odyssey does have a spacious second and third row. So starting off in the 2022 Honda Odyssey LX, this has Honda's 3.5 liter V6. It makes 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is the only minivan in the segment that offers a 10-speed auto. The other minivans offer 8-speed or CVT. The visibility out of the Odyssey here is really good. You have a good commanding view of the road. The suspension in here feels really compliant, feels really good. The steering feel is direct, but there is a little bit of feedback from the tires. I like that you get these decent sized mirrors here. Like I mentioned, great commanding view of the road. This has Honda sensing, so it does include lane departure mitigation, forward collision warning. And like I mentioned, it makes 280 horsepower And all my VTEC lovers out there, once you put your foot to the floor, the VTEC kicks in and it sounds pretty good. You can only get the Odyssey in front wheel drive. Honda does not offer all wheel drive. So maybe in the next generation of Odyssey, they might consider offering all wheel drive. But let's do a launch control here, or let's launch this thing. You click, there's this push button style transmission. You click the D here and it goes into sport mode. I'm gonna floor it. Ooh, it cut power. That 10-speed auto is really fast to shift, and Honda does throw in these paddle shifters. It's pretty fast to shift. They offer this 10-speed auto in the Accord as well, but Honda is missing that hybrid powertrain. I'm not sure why they didn't offer the hybrid powertrain from the Honda Accord. Maybe give it a little bit more horsepower. They use the same powertrain, the same hybrid powertrain that's in the CR-V. They took that from the Accord. So maybe Honda, you should consider offering a hybrid powered Odyssey, my apologies. But overall, the Odyssey is a really good daily driver. You can fit your family in here. You have plenty of cargo space. Like I mentioned, you get 144.7 cubic feet of space. That's right on par with the new redesigned Chevy Suburban. So this thing offers a lot of cargo space, and you can remove the second row, but on the Toyota Sienna, you can't remove the second row. So starting off in the 2021 Toyota Sienna LE Hybrid. You guys know that Toyota brought the Sienna back as a full-on hybrid. This has their 2.5 liter four-cylinder. It makes 245 horsepower. It's paired with a CVT transmission. The Odyssey is the only minivan in the segment to offer a 10-speed automatic transmission. The Pacifica will offer an 8-speed and a CVT as well if you go for the plug-in hybrid version of the Pacifica. Let's talk about the driver's assistance here. This does have emergency braking with pedestrian detection, also a lane departure with lane keep and assist, as well with adaptive cruise control, which works really good, just like in the Honda Odyssey, which they call it Honda Sensing. Very good driver's assistance, as well as the Sienna here. This has really good driver's assistance as well. Great commanding view of the road. These big side mirrors. It does include blind spot monitoring. I like that they have this 9-inch display. I'm not sure why Honda didn't offer an 8-inch display on the base trim level of the Odyssey, but you have to go for another trim level in order to get that 8-inch display. The cabin here is nice, just like the Odyssey. I just wish that Honda would have offered that 8-inch display. The cabin here feels the same, very quiet, spacious cabin. Great driver's assistance tag from both companies. But one thing about the Sienna here, it doesn't offer 280 horsepower like the Odyssey does, which is way better because it has a 3.5 liter V6. But the Odyssey fuel economy that I forgot to talk about, that gets 19 in the city, 28 on the highway, and 22 combined. Compared to that, this full-on hybrid here gets 36 across the board for highway, city, and combined driving. So it gets that in all three categories, which is phenomenal. So you buy this minivan here because you want to get better fuel economy, but you buy the Odyssey because it offers that 3.5 liter V6 with 280 horsepower. With this being the hybrid here, with that electric motor, it does feel very responsive, but I would prefer the powertrain of the Honda Odyssey because it makes 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, and that 10-speed automatic is really fast to shift. I'm not knocking neither brand of these companies here, but I would prefer the powertrain of the Honda Odyssey compared to the new Sienna's powertrain, which is a full-on hybrid. It's down in horsepower, of course. So I can imagine if you fit your family in here, it will kind of weigh down on the vehicle. This weighs around 4,600 pounds, and you can tow 3,500 pounds in the Odyssey and in this Sienna here. So just in case you wanted to tow, you can definitely do that as well. But overall, I'm really impressed with the driving dynamics of the Odyssey and the Sienna here. They both have really good powertrains, great fuel efficiency, but if you want to get better fuel efficiency compared to the Odyssey, you have to get this hybrid here. Or check out the Chrysler Pacifica, which is the only plug-in hybrid. Just like in the Odyssey, let's do a launch control or brake boost. Let's put this thing into a sport mode. So let's brake boost it. Oof. With only 245 horsepower, this thing, I had to basically counter steer it because it was pulling more to the right for some reason. So with the traction off, it's gonna basically peel out its front tires a little bit. But you can get all-wheel drive. Unfortunately, you cannot get all-wheel drive in the Honda Odyssey. So maybe for the next generation of Odyssey, Honda might just offer it with all-wheel drive. After spending time with the Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey, starting price for the Sienna here is at $34,460. With the accessories and the options, it stickers for $43,379. Contrast to that, the Odyssey starting price is at $32,090. With the options and accessories, the Odyssey stickers for $34,655. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.